Welcome to Vegas Live. I'm Ninon, your host, and we have the famous, incredible. She does not really know how dear to my heart what she does is. Her name is Cat Brewer, and you are involved in the deaf and hearing impaired, correct?
I am producing a film in support of the deaf and hard of hearing communities.
Hard of hearing communities. Yes. Now, she does not know that Dr. Howard House, which I'm sure you know. Do you know Dr. Howard House?
I've heard the name before.
Dr. Howard House was one of the biggest, probably in America, if not in the world, clinic for hearing impaired. And Dr. Howard House was actually I had a foundation called Kids Talk Foundation. He was actually on my board.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing. I was, and I knew him for many, many years. He's a very close friend of mine. And I was in his clinic at one time. They were doing some speech and it was some meeting and everything else. And I turned to him and I said, I just started a show, and it was called at that time Kids Talk. And I actually had the children, the deaf and hearing impaired children, on my show. And everybody said to me, they said, well, Ninon, you can't do that. They can't talk and they can't hear. And I said, oh, really? I said, well, how about, getting the people on there to help them do this?
Yes.
So we did, and we had the most incredible show. To end the story, that was my very first award, and now I have 110 awards. That was my very first award for my Kids Talk Voices of Tomorrow.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's something you're doing.
It's a great connection.
So that's an incredible connection. So
yes.
I know I can help you.
Thank you.
Are you doing it in this town, or are you doing it in Los Angeles?
I'm doing it all over the place.
All over?
Yes, I have traveled all over the country, the United States anyway, to interview deaf individuals, sign language interpreters, comedians, musicians.
The interpreters are amazing.
Sign
language.
What
I had, sign language.
Yes.
I had 2 interpreters on my show,
yes.
Actually 2 of them, and it was just, and a lot of them could actually sort of talk a little bit, but understood a little bit, but
yes.
Just to clear to make sure everybody understood. It was the most beautiful thing, and I think what you're doing now. Why are you doing this documentary?
Well, my entire life I've taken for granted my ability to hear.
Okay.
And comedy and music have been, I guess, my saving grace my entire life. It's always gotten me through really hard parts of my life, and we all go through ups and downs.
We all have the ups and downs.
Absolutely.
We all have the mountains and the rivers.
Absolutely.
And all
the peaks and the valleys.
The lefts and the rights, yes.
And I went to a concert for the first time like about 4 years ago, and for the first time saw a sign language interpreter.
Really?
Interpreting. And I was completely ignorant. I didn't realize that deaf people even enjoyed music. And so I started talking to the interpreter and then communicating with the deaf individuals. Mm-hmm. And I learned that deaf and hard of hearing individuals face a lot of challenges when trying to access live entertainment.
Yes, because it's not always there.
It's not always there.
No.
And I mean, I think what you did was fabulous. What you did is what I'm trying to do, and you did it on your own.
Yes, I just did it.
You provided open access.
I said, why not? Why can't they be out there? Why can't we have them? Why can't we have the interpreter there? I mean, I had 2 of them, and it was beautiful.
Yes.
Give them a voice.
So I'm hoping with my film that it highlights the challenges and struggles, so that we can, as a culture, collectively make a change in the entertainment industry.
It's funny you talk about the entertainment industry. Dr. Howard House, one of his biggest things, his challenges he had, was the music industry. Because in the music industry, I don't know if anybody realizes, but the sound up on stage is deafening.
Yes.
Pun intended, to the ears.
Yes.
And he always used to try to make earplugs for them.
Yes.
But then he had to make the earplugs so they could hear what was going on. So it was like
technology is so advanced now, and,
yes.
and most artists do wear earplugs that have the ability to filter the sound that they need to hear.
And it's not for when they're younger.
Right.
It's what happens older.
It's an accumulative loss.
That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And deafness comes in a range, like you were mentioning. Some people can hear a little bit. Some people can hear middle ground.
Yes.
Some hear none at all.
And some have little sounds of this and sounds of that. They can pick up lots of different things. But we don't realize, and we really don't understand. But you hit my chord.
Thank you.
You hit my chord. That's very dear to my heart. But also what I did learn, and you're probably going to learn this too, there was a lot of deaf people love being deaf.
Yes, they don't see it as a disability.
No, they do not.
We, as hearing people, have labeled it as such.
As a disability.
And that needs to change.
Yes.
And so there is the Americans with Disabilities Act that actually affords deaf people the ability to request an interpreter at any live performance.
Yes.
And by law, one has to be granted to them.
Yeah, they have to have one.
But that doesn't happen. And so I want to bring awareness to the challenges. And eventually, I'm going to put this out there.
I want you to put
my goal is to change the name of the ADA law. I don't think it should be Americans with Disabilities. I think that's a derogatory term.
American Disabilities of Hearing?
I want it to be accessibility for Americans.
Accessibility for Americans.
Yeah,
Isn't that beautiful?
Most people, when they think of the ADA law, they think of wheelchair ramps and access like that.
Oh yeah, your disability.
Right, but you're just different. It's different than you and I. It doesn't make it better or worse. It's just.
And it doesn't really make them that different. The only difference they have is they can't hear properly.
Correct.
Sometimes they can't hear at all.
Wouldn't you like to not hear sometimes?
Well, I've never wished that on myself, but sometimes, yes, I would. But I normally would just get up and walk away. I'm very much like that. I'm very much, if I'm not into a particular conversation or I'm not in an argument or whatever it is, I just smile and get up and off I go.
Right.
Because I'm not into all that.
Right.
I think it aggravates my body too much.
Your
and
soul.
My soul. I don't want to disturb my soul.
Yeah.
I've tried to get it into a very calm place. I've been very fortunate in life, and I have to say this. I've always had that very sort of calmness about me, of understanding a situation. Maybe that's why I can do what I do. That's why I don't ever, pre-interview anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never met you before.
Nope.
Yeah, never met you before. By the way, I love your hair.
Thank
because
you.
You're kind of out there. You're kind of out there on a subject where people would say, well, why is she like that when she's doing that kind of subject? Well, what difference does it make?
That's right.
What difference? You don't have to be a certain person to do a certain thing.
Right. My goal is all about advocacy.
How far have you got with is it a documentary or a film?
It's a documentary. Yes,
How
it'll be a
long
feature
is it
length.
going to be?
It will be a feature-length documentary.
A feature-length,
which is approximately
about an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, about an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes.
Yes, hour 40 minutes.
Yes.
How far have you got with it? And the dreaded question, the financing. No, the financing.
Yes. So
I might have somebody for you to help you with the financing. I'm going to give you a name.
Okay. Well, I've been a teacher for the last 16 years. I've taught communication courses, 3 different community colleges. Shout out to Contra Costa, DVC, Chabot, and Laney.
Yes.
And I've been doing that part-time for 16 years, and I've spent my entire life savings on this film.
Really?
I sold my home in California to move here where it's a little more affordable so that I can finish with the editing. I have some more travel coming up. I'm actually going to Gallaudet University. I leave tomorrow, which is the only deaf university in the United States. And I'm going there.
Shout that out. Where is it?
Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. So I'm going there to do some interviews. And there are some artists that I have coming up. I don't want to jinx myself and put it out there, but I'm trying to finish this by going to editing in September, October for a final product in January.
If I can help you in any way, I definitely will.
Thank you.
But I'm going to give a shout out then. I don't know if you're watching. Jan Doak, you know who you are. I know you. We're very, very good friends. I'm not quite sure. I think she's in Albuquerque. I'm not sure, but she has Albuquerque and Santa Monica, 2 places. She actually headed out all the fundraising and everything for the House Institute. The most amazing woman. She was a very good friend of mine, helped me with my Kids Talk Foundation. So Jan Doak, if you're out there, please get in touch with me. But if you don't, I'll find you.
I just started a Kickstarter campaign today. It runs for 3 weeks, and you can find it if you type in "sign the show." It's a 3-week Kickstarter campaign. There's some rewards at different levels if you donate. It ends June 21st. My lucky number is 21, so everything is revolved around that number.
21.
Around
so everything
21.
rolls around 21 and 27, because 27 is my number.
Okay.
So we're gonna
I'll add that in.
Add that in. So 27. Make sure we
there
get
we
that
go.
out there. But also, you might want to call the House Ear Clinic in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I'll give you a couple of names to
I would
speak
love
to people there.
I would
because
love that.
there's so many people that really, really can help you on this, and it's just the most amazing thing to understand how the deaf community have been put in a category of not really the right one.
Yes, they're an underserved population.
Yeah, I'm definitely
And there
underserved.
are over 30 million deaf and hard of hearing people in the United States alone.
Wow. And it's funny because that was my second show. My first show was children from divorced families, because I was married to a man that had 6 children, 3 from one wife, 3 from the other wife. So when I married him, I married my husband, 2 ex-wives and 6 children. That's what I married.
That takes a special woman to do, for sure.
I often think, how did I handle it all? But I handled it all. But that was my first show, so it was children from divorced families, because I knew about the subject.
Sure.
And then the other one was deaf and hearing impaired children, and that was the most, and that won my first award.
I love that we have that connection.
That beautiful connection. And of course, you know, I'm going to definitely Cat.
Thank you.
Help you as much as I possibly
Ninon.
can.
I am
Cat
totally,
Brewer, right?
Cat Brewer, yes.
Cat Brewer. Remember that name. Facebook, I'm sure.
Facebook, Sign the Show. You can also go to my website, signtheshow.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @Cat Brewer.
This is a go-getter. This woman will do what she wants to do, and we're going to make sure she gets it out there. And I don't know how we managed to meet, but remember, nothing happens by accident.
Can I give one more
You
shout out?
can give a shout out to anybody you want out there. Go ahead, all of them.
I really want to say thank you to all the deaf individuals, deaf and hard of hearing individuals that I have had the pleasure of getting to know and interviewing. Your stories are what have created this. Sorry,
heartwarming.
Yeah.
Well, we got tears going. So now she's going to get me crying.
Sorry. Your stories are what I am advocating for open and equal access. I want to thank all the many interpreters who have donated their time, all of my friends and family who have supported me on this crazy journey. I also want to thank all of the artists, Michael Franti, D.L. Hughley, Sinbad, Kelly Clarkson, Albie Shore.
Albie Shore?
Albie Shore.
That's my very good friend.
Well,
hey, Albie, how are you? Hey, take care of this woman. All right.
Train, I already said Michael Franti, ex-ambassadors, The Far Side. There's comedians Sinbad, Jay Moore, Greg Fitzsimmons, Troy Conrad. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them. Brent Morin, Ron Funches, Andrew Santino. I just want to say thank you. Without your support, it really does take a village.
Yes, it takes a village.
I wouldn't be able to do
and
this.
And whoever she left out, she doesn't mean to. It's just
mean
that,
to.
you know, but you're all included, whoever you are out there.
Yes.
That's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So we're going to definitely support Kat 100%. And funny, because I can really, really help.
Thank you.
And I will give you as much as I can. Jan Doak's one of them. She's just an amazing woman.
Okay.
And she'll give you all the ins and outs of everybody in New York, anywhere. She knows everybody.
All right.
I mean, an absolutely amazing woman. And we'll be right back, Vegas Live with Ninon and, of course, Kat. Amazing.
Thank you.